Jaguar Wright, the outspoken singer with a talent for controversy, has a history of making wild allegations about some of the most famous people in the music industry. One of her most frequent targets? None other than Jay-Z and Beyoncé. Most recently, she appeared on Piers Morgan's YouTube show, where things took a spicy turn, to say the least. Piers Morgan, trying to keep things somewhat professional, had to jump into PR mode and issue an apology after Wright's outlandish claims. He even had to edit out some of the things she said, probably to keep the Bay Ive and Roxy Nation lawyers from breaking down his door.
The reality of the modern world is that pretty much everyone has a platform as long as there's something to say that other people want to hear. That's why we invited her on to be interviewed. The people making these claims have an audience with or without shows like mine. Well, Jaguar Wright unexpectedly made several serious allegations about Jay-Z and Beyoncé.
But what are these Wright claims, and why does she keep going after one of music's most iconic power couples? Let's take a look at some of the eyebrow-raising accusations
During that interview, as I said in the moment, they were not present to respond or defend themselves, but now they have. Their lawyers contacted us to say that those claims were totally false.
Jaguar's allegations, the great Jay-Z plot. Jaguar Wright claims Jay-Z is some sort of puppet master behind everything shady in the music industry. In her version of events, he's like a supervillain straight out of a comic book, plotting world domination from the comfort of his billion-dollar mansion. Wright has made claims suggesting Jay-Z not only manipulates artists, but also orchestrates the entire music industry to work in his favor. According to her, every success story in music that doesn't involve her somehow has Jay-Z pulling the strings. Sure, Jay-Z's a savvy businessman, but according to Jaguar, he's running a covert Illuminati operation. Maybe the next Bond villain? When it comes to Beyoncé, Jaguar doesn't hold back either. While most of the world bows down to Queen Bey, Wright acts like she's uncovered some deep, dark secret about the singer. One of her wildest claims, she has insinuated that Beyoncé uses black magic. Yes, black magic to maintain her career. Apparently, formation wasn't just about empowerment, it was a spell. Wright's assertions make it sound like Beyoncé is less a Grammy-winning pop goddess and more a Hogwarts dropout with a grudge. Maybe Wright is just bitter she wasn't invited to one of Beyoncé's mystical lunar rituals. They're not even together. Oh, but it doesn't stop there. Jaguar Wright has gone on record suggesting that Beyoncé and Jay-Z's marriage is just a business arrangement. To her, their relationship is less drunk in love and more contract in love. She claims their marriage is a total sham, a strategic partnership to boost their respective brands and keep the money rolling in. Wright seems convinced that they live completely separate lives, only coming together for public appearances to perpetuate the myth of relationship goals. Honestly, if this were true, Jay-Z and Beyoncé deserve an Oscar for their acting, because most of us are buying the love story. Piers Morgan's PR nightmare. Now, let's talk about Piers Morgan's recent ordeal. Inviting Jaguar Wright to your show is like inviting a storm into your living room. Things are bound to get messy. During her appearance, Jaguar wasted no time launching into her usual tirade against the Carters. But it seems this time even Morgan, who's no stranger to controversy, couldn't handle the heat. Jaguar dropped some claims so explosive that Morgan's producers had to hit the emergency edit button. Allegedly, she went beyond her usual conspiracy theories, delving into defamation territory. Whatever she said was so inflammatory that Morgan had to apologize on air. It's telling that even Piers, who thrives on sensationalism, had to walk back some of the content. Wright's comments might have crossed the line from juicy gossip to legal liability.
And have no basis in fact, and we've therefore complied with the legal request to cut them from the original interview. Editing interviews is not something we do lightly at a show called Uncensored. But, like the proverbial cries of fire in a crowded theatre, there are legal limits on us too. And we apologise to Jay-Z and Beyoncé.
And while Morgan might enjoy stirring the pot, he's smart enough to know that the Carters are not the kind of people you want to take on lightly. Why does Jaguar Wright keep doing this? At this point, you might be wondering, why does Jaguar Wright keep going after Jay-Z and Beyoncé? Did they steal her lunch money in middle school? The truth is, no one really knows why she's made them her personal nemesis. Some say it's bitterness. She's been in the industry for decades without ever reaching the kind of success they've achieved. Others think she just likes the attention, knowing that dropping bombshells about the Carters will keep her name in the headlines, even if it's for all the wrong reasons. Wright has also had her own struggles with mental health, which some believe may contribute to her erratic behavior. While it's easy to laugh at the absurdity of some of her claims, there's a deeper issue at play here. If Jaguar genuinely believes these things, it might be a sign that she needs help, not more airtime. But as long as platforms like Morgan's keep giving her a stage, it's likely we'll continue hearing her conspiracy theories fall out. What's the fallout from all of this? Well, for starters, Jaguar's credibility has taken yet another hit. At this point, even her fans have to question how much of what she says is true. The Carters, for their part, are too busy running empires to respond to every wild claim. In fact, one of their biggest strengths has been their refusal to engage with people like Jaguar. Beyoncé doesn't even acknowledge the existence of drama, while Jay-Z's handling of conflict is smooth enough to be the stuff of legend. Both have become experts at letting the media storm swirl around them without getting caught up in the chaos. As for Piers Morgan, well, let's just say he's probably thinking twice before inviting another guest like Jaguar Wright. The fallout from this episode likely included some very tense calls with his legal team. Still, Morgan is the kind of guy who knows that even a bad headline is still a headline, so he might secretly be loving all the attention. That said, if he wants to keep interviewing controversial figures, he might want to install a more sensitive bleep button. The real power of Jay-Z and Beyoncé. The most humorous part of all this is how untouchable Jay-Z and Beyoncé seem to be. For all her ranting and raving, Wright's allegations haven't even made a dent in their massive public image. In fact, every time someone like Jaguar comes out with a new accusation, it almost seems to make the Carters stronger, as if they're charging up on the negativity. It's the kind of superpower most celebrities dream of. At the end of the day, Jay-Z and Beyoncé are experts at playing the long game. Their silence in the face of these allegations speaks volumes. They don't need to say a word, because their success and influence say it all. So while Jaguar Wright is out here screaming into the void, Jay and Bey are sitting comfortably at the top, sipping champagne and laughing all the way to the bank. In conclusion, Jaguar Wright's ongoing beef with Jay-Z and Beyoncé is both baffling and entertaining. Whether it's allegations of black magic, fake marriages, or industry manipulation, she certainly knows how to grab attention. But in the grand scheme of things, her claims are little more than noise. The Carters, they'll keep on thriving, letting people like Jaguar fizzle out. After all, it's hard to stay mad when you're sitting on top of the world. And maybe, just maybe, Wright needs to find a new hobby.